Tapping into life, we're ready to shine. With every step forward, we're crossing the line. Embrace the hustle, let the fire ignite. Together we rise, we'll conquer the night.
Welcome to another episode of the Tapping into Life podcast. It is good to see and know that each and every one of you are still investing time to tap into your true identity, to make sure that you are having a wonderful, strong mental health, to make sure that everything is going good in your life. And if it ain't going good, y'all are investing time to fix it. Welcome. I gotta turn my phone down. Hold on 1 second. Which I should have did before I started recording. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Welcome. Welcome. Did y'all like the theme song? We got a new theme song. Did y'all hear it? I'm gonna replay a snippet of it so y'all can hear it again. Okay, watch this.
Feel the energy flow. Tapping into life, we're ready to shine. With every step forward, we're crossing the line. Embrace the hustle, let the fire ignite. Together we rise, we'll conquer the night.
Ain't it good? Don't it sound good? Y'all, come on in. It has been too long since we have had a conversation, okay? Since we have had a conversation, it has been so long. It's, the last time we had a conversation, it had to be about the beginning of summer, okay? And here we are. We have not seen each other for the entire summer. But I know that each and every one of you, like I said, have been doing what it is that you all need to do to heal, to be happy, to love, to be patient, to endure, to deal with things and understand the things that are hindering you from being great. I know that you all have invested this time. Why? Because you're clicking in and watching me on another episode of the podcast. So I know it. And I appreciate you taking you into consideration. I appreciate you putting you first. That is one of the things that make me happy with people, that they're taking the time to make themselves better, no matter what the circumstances is, no matter what issues they may be having going on, no matter what trials and tribulations, y'all are doing it. I appreciate seeing y'all have the strength and the knowledge and the wisdom to be great and to tap in to your greatness. I appreciate it. That makes me happy, and that continues to motivate me to do what it is that I need to do so I can pour back into you. All right? Welcome. Y'all come on in. Get comfortable. Have your drink, your snack, your pad, your pen, your pencil or marker, or whatever it is that you write with. Y'all come on in. We're going to tap into it, y'all, okay? How y'all doing? Let me tell y'all something, right? I'm going to tell a story. And the topic of this episode is dance your own dance. But I'm going to tell you a story. Okay? I'm going to tell you a story. And this is also going to explain why y'all have not seen nor heard from me all summer long. Okay? Hold on 1 second. Let me send another text message. I got to start saving numbers in my phone. I do, because numbers start looking the same. You don't want to be texting the wrong one, and oh my goodness. Hold on. Okay, I'm done. All right. Welcome. We're going to tell you a story, and we're gonna go back about. It'll be about 5 years. No. It'll be about 4 years. It'll be about 4 years. All right. So y'all ready for the story? Y'all come on in, have a seat, get comfortable. I'm about to tell y'all a story. All right. I'm a good storyteller, by the way. I'm just saying. All right. So once upon a time, my husband and I were getting ready to, we just got ordained he got ordained as a pastor. I had gotten ordained as an elder, right? We had went to this convocation in Atlanta, and it was all organized and set up by our apostle. And it was, oh my gosh, that season was so busy. It was very, 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 very busy. And we were doing so much to prepare on top, not just physically, but we were doing so much financially, and we were doing so much spiritually, and we were doing so much physically, and we were doing so much emotionally, and we were doing so much mentally. Like, we were doing the daggone thing. Do y'all hear me? And so during that organization, during that, we setting everything up and we're organizing and we getting things ready or whatever. Our apostle assigned me to do a few things behind the scenes. Now, mind you, she did most of the stuff there in Atlanta, and whatever loose ends that she couldn't necessarily get to, she assigned me. So I was on the phone, sending emails, all of this stuff at the same time, doing my normal 9 to 5. And during that time, we were still in the pandemic. So my normal 9 to 5 wasn't 8 hours. It was 12 hours dealing with coconuts. Okay. I was dealing with some knuckleheads. All right. But it was so many things that a handful of things, not so many, but a handful of things that she was assigning me to do. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to help out. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to be of a service, because the calling, see, just because somebody asked me to do something doesn't mean I'm obligated to do it. But the meaning behind it, the service that I was performing, not just to have the position of an elder, but I already knew, I had already spoke with the man upstairs, right? And him and I already had a conversation. And so he made things very clear about why things were happening the way they were happening and what's going to take place afterwards, right? So the juicy part is what happened afterwards, but I got to set up the background. I got to set up the story. Okay. So we're going and we're having this convocation or whatever. We're setting everything up. We're there. Things are happening the way they should have happened. Not necessarily the way we wanted things to happen, but the way it should have happened. Okay? Y'all catch that? All right. Now, during that time of the preparation, let's go back to the preparation. During that time, my husband and I, like I said, we're doing what we needed to do. We're helping out the best way we can. We're going on a spiritual fast. We're meditating. We're understanding what's about to take place in Atlanta and after Atlanta. We're understanding, what's going down, right? So my husband was finishing setting up his, what do you call that? Incorporation. So with the incorporation, it's a lot more documents to add to it because it was a nonprofit. It's a lot more documents and a lot more things that you have to do, compared to an LLC. You don't have to do nearly half of what you have to do when you're doing a nonprofit. So I'm helping him set this up. My apostle's on the phone. She's in our ear telling us what we need to do. I am working as a front office manager at a hotel and playing 5 different hats, right? On top of that, my apostle asks me to set up a hotel block. Now, mind y'all, for y'all that don't know, I have been in the hotel industry for 12 years and I've been in hotel management for 6 years. Okay. So I know the ins and the outs and the do's and the don'ts of what we can do, what we can't do. We got to do stuff by this time or this will happen. I'm there. Okay. And so I'm setting up the block. And what happened was the block was supposed to be set up already, but the person who was supposed to do it, for whatever reason, it didn't get done. I don't know. That's none of my business. But that's all I know about that situation. So I'm doing my thing. So I'm working behind the scenes with a lot of stuff. Okay. With the convocation, with my normal 9 to 5, helping my husband with his nonprofit. I'm doing a lot of things. So in this preparation, and once it was put out there that him and I were going to be ordained elders, well, me being an ordained elder, him being a pastor, all of a sudden we start getting inboxes, right? Start getting inboxes from people. Hey, congratulations. I heard the good news. Congratulations. We got to, link up and collaborate, and we got to do this and do that. I got to invite you, to my church, and we got to do this, that, yada, yada, yada. So they, going back and forth. Now, mind you, I'm the type of person, and I cannot speak for my better half, okay? I cannot speak for my husband, but I'm the type of person that if you did not see me before you heard the news, then just have several seats and let me do my thing. Right? Just stand out of the way, and we will have a conversation afterwards. Right? Because I'm just not that type of person that's going to welcome you on board because now you see me, but when previously you didn't see it for me. You didn't see it for me. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything out of pocket to these people. I'm not going to let them know that I'm on to their foolishness. I'm going to kindly say, you know what? Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the encouragement. But when it comes down to you being in an inner circle of my assignment, have several seats, right? Respectfully, have several seats. You go over there because you were not in this process. So I respectfully say, you're not going to be in this process when I get to what I need to get to and do whatever it is that God has for me and my husband to do. Now, he can speak for himself, but when it comes down to me, this is what I was thinking. This is how I felt. All right. Y'all know I'm cut from a different cloth. All right. So we're going in, and something just wasn't right. You ever had that feeling that something ain't right? And you don't know what it is, but you just know something ain't right? Yeah. Yeah. Mm. So I was naturally, I'm going to be cautious because I know something ain't right. That feeling when you know something ain't right and it's sit like like 5 gallons of rocks just sitting in your belly, like that kind of feeling. Yeah. So I already knew like, you know, and I knew that, you know, so my question was what was really going on? Right. So I'm the type of person like, look, before I go and assume stuff, before I try to put 2 and 2 together, you know, I don't want to lean on my own understanding or my own interpretation. I'm going to go into meditation. I'm going to go into prayer and I'm going to ask what's really going on. So here I am in this moment and I'm entering my spiritual realm. I'm entering my spiritual atmosphere, and my spiritual atmosphere is connecting with the spiritual universe, which is the mouth of God, the ears of God, the eyes of God. And I'm connecting because I need some clarity. Like, what is going on? I still had this feeling. Not was about to happen, but I feel that there are some entities that just, it's just, it was just so unexplainable. And so I'm praying, I'm fasting, having this moment, and out of nowhere, I hear the mouth of God. I hear that spiritual universe say, you know what, Matthew, let me just break it down to you. There are people who have been in this game, who've been in ministry for so many years. They're not thinking anything ill will against your husband. They're thinking ill will against you. They're questioning, why are you allowed to come into this? Why am I assigning you to do certain things? Why am I assigning you with this position and whatever comes with it? But see, Matthew, they don't know. This is what I want you to do. This is what I need you to do. And you have exemplified more qualities. You've exemplified the qualities and the qualifications it takes to be in the position that I'm calling you in. This is why I'm calling you in to what I need to call you in, because you've already answered the calling. It just had to be the proper time and the place for you to now walk in your calling. Okay? All right. Because what the very test, and everybody has a test in life, but the very test that God, the very test that I gave you, you walked through it. Physical pain, emotional pain, mental confusion, emotions everywhere. You walked through it, and your strength during this test exemplifies what I need in the position that I'm calling you in. This is why. But they don't understand that. They don't understand because they didn't see it. They didn't see it. If they did see it, they didn't reach out. They didn't hit you up in your inbox. Hey, brother, you okay? Let me pray for you. Let me support you. What do you need? Everything's going to be okay. They didn't do that. And in their eyes, you are this type of person that you can do A, B, and C, but you can't do this. You can be A, B, and C, but you can't be this. You can say A, B, and C, but you can't say this. Right? They were putting a filter, not a filter. I wouldn't necessarily were putting a filter. They were trying to understand why I am now being in this part of my life and now why I'm doing what God had called me to do. They're trying to understand that by a filter that they applied on themselves, by a filter that they applied on their own eyes. And God tells me, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Let them talk. But if you don't know who they are, you're going to find out. So I'm like, look, okay, look, I'm cool with that. Okay, cool. So we're going. A lot of these people that were supposed to be there were not there. For whatever reasons, I'm not going to tell their business, but they weren't there. All right. They won't. And so afterwards, so after the convocation, we're now back home in Raleigh, and there were people steady inboxing. Congratulations, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna have to invite you to my church. I'm gonna have to invite you to do this with my church. I'm gonna have to invite you to do that with my church. And it was like, and this is what they were sending my husband. This is the inbox that they were, giving. Right? They were inboxing him with all of this stuff. Because ain't nobody inbox me. Just go be real with you. I think it was like a handful that inboxed me just to say, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice seeing you at the convocation. Cool. But as far as the invitations and all of that conversation, won't nobody inboxing me. Now, did I feel some type of way? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I know that my calling would be different. Right? I know that my calling would be different. I know that I was going to be dancing a different dance and a dance that they didn't understand. It's just like when, we get these documentaries and they go to different countries and these people of these different countries, they dance in a dance and we're like, well, what kind of dance is that? But it means something to them and it's a purpose behind that dance. Yeah. I know that I was going to start dancing a dance that ain't nobody was going to understand. They were going to look at me like, what in the world is going on? And why is he dancing like that? He don't supposed to dance like this. He supposed to dance like, he supposed to dance like that. He supposed to dance like this. Like, already knew. Okay. So, respectfully, the invitations were starting to be declined. Respectfully. Now, for whatever reason, those invitations were being declined, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. All right. That is not my business. That was a decision that Jawan had made. That was a decision that he had made. And the decision was he was declining invitations. I'm okay with that. All I know is I told him, I said, you really got to hear the language that they're speaking. And you really got to utilize these gifts God gave you because you're going, because if not, you'll go and you're going to be, linking up and doing stuff with people who ain't who they say they are, and they're full of mess and they're full of drama and they're full of scandals and issues gonna hit the fans and the whole nine, right? And that's what I told him. Like, you just gotta be cautious. Look, whatever God wants you to do, you do it. If you don't understand, ask him for clarity. And I'm not saying that he didn't know how to properly go about it. I'm just saying, look, as your friend, as your husband, as somebody who helps you with, Lion of Judah, be cautious, tread lightly, because for a fact you are smarter than than what people give you credit for. For a fact there are wolves in sheep's clothing out here. So be cautious. And so he starts, his Monday night manna, right? So this is where he goes into prayer or do some Bible study topic. And, he does that every Monday. He still does it every Monday. He has a lot of stuff coming along. And so I hadn't started the podcast just yet. It was still in my brain. It wasn't even on Blueprint. I really haven't, put it on a blueprint yet. And so we're going, and just that feeling. God, what is that? Something ain't right. There are some people out here. It feel like you just feel eyes watching you, and ain't no eyes in your house. Ain't no eyes in your car. But you just feel like there are eyes watching you, just watching you. Now, this is me now. I'm like, what is going on? Right? So once again, I'm in prayer, I'm in meditation, I'm outside on my patio, and everybody know I like being out on my patio. I don't care if it's 32 degrees outside, and I don't care. Okay, now when it gets about 100, that's a different story. But, because the nature, I'm a nature baby. I connect with the nature. I receive things when I'm outside, and so this is why I got house plants in the house. Because I can't be outside all the time, but when I do, I enjoy it. I embrace it. Things come to me more clear. So I'm out there and I'm meditating. And for those who really know the whole thing with being a spiritual individual and spirituality and how to connect with, the spiritual universe, y'all know that we see a lot of things that people would not normally see. And we hear a lot of things that people would not normally hear. And we sense a lot of stuff that people would not normally sense, because we have tapped into those spiritual gifts and those spiritual abilities that God had spoken into us. We're tapping into that. We're connecting with that. We're utilizing it. We're learning how to walk, with these gifts on us, right? And so I'm sitting out here on the patio, and like I said, you just see stuff. And these people, and all you just saw was just eyes. You know how like on the cartoons, you just, when they looking into the dark, they just see eyes, like two sets of eyes, and they see about a billion pairs of eyes and stuff. I just saw eyes. My God, what are these eyes? What is going on? He said, these are your monitoring spirits. These are your spectators. These people are looking for you to make one mistake. These people are looking for you to do something wrong. These people are looking for you to say something wrong. These people are looking. They're talking, they're judging, they're going around to the other person saying all of these things about you. They're trying to connect with your husband. They're trying to, do ministry work with your husband, but they feel like you're coming in between that. They're trying to do all of these things to tear you down because they feel that you can do anything but come into ministry the way they're in ministry. That you can do anything. And there are people who were not in ministry per se, but they feel that you are not qualified. You are not certified to do the very thing that I called you to do. But that's okay. And when God, and I don't make this up, I don't put a God in a lie. Who puts God in a lie? But when I tell you that I start seeing these faces of these people that were talking, and I started hearing the conversations that they were saying, all I'm going to say to these people, because I'm pretty sure, because some of y'all are on my Facebook, some of y'all have liked the Tapping Into Life page, some of y'all are viewing this on YouTube. For those monitoring spirits, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Health is good. I'm able to get up in the morning. I'm able to go to work. I'm able to work 8 hours. Lord, sometimes it's more than that. I'm still able to come home, take care of the household, pay the bills, walk the dog, bathe the dog. I don't necessarily like grooming the dog, so we take them to the groomers, but everything that, that we do on a normal basis, I'm doing that. I'm still alive. I ain't going nowhere no time soon. Right? Because God spoke life into me, and I spoke life into me right back. And in that moment, 5 years ago, that connection right there solidified a whole lot of things. And I got a whole lot of work to do. So before I take my last breath up out of here, I would be old, sitting in a rocking chair, watching my great grandkids play in the field at a daggone cookout or something. I ain't going nowhere no time soon, y'all. I'm still alive, okay? All right, we're going to move forward. So then, like I said, hearing these conversations, I already knew who was talking. I already knew who was talking, what was said, how it was said. I already knew the judgment being passed. I saw the people doing what they were doing. There were people that was trying to reach out. No, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me get back on track. So later on, a couple of years later, now here comes the podcast, right? Because mind you, these monitoring spirit, these spectators, they were like, you know what? As long as Matthew is quiet, he can have the title. But as long as he's quiet, then everything is good. We just got to make sure he's quiet. Now, the thing about it is, I know that they knew that they didn't have a way to silence me. Okay? Because, and the reason why I was quiet for those 2 years was because I had no reason to talk. I had no reason to be vocal. I had no reason. I'm posting a couple of statuses on Facebook. I'm sharing funny stuff and positive things and inspiring things. But for the most part, I was not quiet. I was not, talkative. So 2 years later, here comes the podcast. And I promoted the daggone podcast, made all these promos, these graphics, finding a nice little catchy tune to, go along with it. Like, hey, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing exactly what y'all got mad at me for doing. I'm doing behind the scene things. I'm doing behind the scene things, right? Right? I'm a master at doing behind the scene things. I'm a master at problem solving. Because let's just keep it a buck 50. A lot of things that y'all were required to do, y'all weren't doing them. So now I got to come and fix your problems. And what the thing about it is, y'all are mad. They were mad, y'all. They were mad because I was doing these things with ease and they couldn't do it. And not to be braggadocious about it and not to say, hey, I'm better than you and you less than. No. They had one job and they failed to do that one job, and now I'm here to do it. And the very person that you said weren't qualified, and why is he here? And why is he doing the things? This is the very person that God called to do. It's none of my business that you have or y'all have received your walking papers. But that's a whole nother story. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. I'm just telling my experience. And the experience goes on. So I'm doing the podcast. Prayer, meditation, God, okay, what this podcast is going to be about, what we're going to talk about, what's the name going to be, what's the origin of the name, what's the foundation of the podcast. God giving me all of these, these things to grab onto. And then I started talking. And baby, when I started talking, you would have thought I said something about somebody's mama. They were sitting up here clutching their pearls. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he spoke like this. I can't believe he's a blasphemer. This is blasphemy. But the very thing you said was blasphemy was the very thing that was in the Bible. What I did was I gave another definition. A definition that was the right definition of what you were reading, a definition that was the right interpretation of what you were interpreting. I didn't lean on my own understanding, or wrap a scripture or a book around my finger to prove a political viewpoint. I did it to save as many souls as I can. That very thing that we're all are assigned to do. As pastors, as elders, as men and women that hold titles in the church, as life coaches, as therapists, as motivational speakers, as teachers, as people giving back to whatever communities that they reside in. Yeah, I'm doing that. But what it was that when I started doing the podcast, they had a filter on how I should do the podcast. They had a filter on how I should do the podcast. And if it won't the criteria of how they wanted it done, it was a problem. When I tell y'all the first 2 seasons, these mugs got pissed off. I heard the chatter. I saw the facial expressions. They got pissed off. What happened with it, and I don't even think, and maybe she does know, but my apostle, I don't even know if she knows. Maybe she knows, I don't know. But there were some people that was trying to call her. And there were some people that was trying to call the archbishop who consecrated her. There was the people that was trying to reach them too. About the things I was saying, how I was doing things. And it's like, I don't even know because they're very tight-lipped people. So maybe these calls and these text messages and these letters, maybe they did get to them, but ain't nobody called me. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is, right? But people were getting mad because I was not carrying out the definition of how they feel an elder of the Lord's church should be, right? I was not carrying that image. I was not speaking that image. I was not walking that image. Because little do anybody know, I already knew my calling and my assignment would be very, very, very different from the next person's. I already knew that it was going to be different, and that was the thing I was scratching my head about. I'm like, look, how we going to do this, God? You say it's going to be different. How different can it get? You got 44,000 Christian denominations in this world and counting. How different can it get? So right before I started the podcast, I had gotten certified as a life coach. And just like being in the four walls of the church, me tapping into life coaching, it was more to it, right? It was more to it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to the roots. Let's get down to the problem. Right? And so it was one day, I'm like, look, all right. They're God. Now, God. Maybe I didn't hear something, or maybe you just didn't tell me right then and there. But there's something more to the eldership. There's something more to not just the eldership, but there's something more to the life coaching. There's something more to ministry. God, what is it? And God says to me, remember the name of the baby you just birthed. Right? And that, I mean, that took me. That took me. I was standing on the patio, drinking a cup of coffee, and for a moment, I had to sit down because I'm like, okay, ooh, that was strong. I get it now, but and I'm like, okay. Now, God, if there is anything that I need to know that I'm not receiving clarity about, let it be known. Let it be known. Because I'm like Yolanda Adams in that song, I'm afraid of disappointing you. I don't want to do nothing that step out of line and disappoint you. Right? It's already enough, parts of my human nature that I'm trying to fix so I can be in according to you. The last thing I need is to do stuff purposely for no reason and disappoint you. So make it clear. And he says, Matthew, I called you to work in the spiritual realm and to work in the spiritual realm that connects your flesh with your spirit. That thin line right there, this is where I need you to work. All right. Because you got people working from one and working from the other. I need you to work right there in the middle, because that's where I need you to be. Because I feel that, well, I know deep down inside that you can do that. Right? I need you. Because in that line, in that thin line, that's where souls are. Right? and I assigned you to save souls. Now, I understand that there are people out here that are doing my calling, or supposed to be doing my calling, supposed to be doing what I asked them to do, supposed to be doing what I assigned them to do, but they're not doing it correctly. And you have the gifts. You have the gifts that I have spoke inside of you, that you have taken the time to learn. Not just with your assignment, but you've taken to help work on you. You have those gifts to do what I need you to do in that small area. So this is where I need you to save souls. And in order to save souls, I need someone to be able to go in and heal the souls. And heal the souls, what I mean by that, to lead these people to the very things with grace, kindness, love, correction. I need you to be able to go in and lead these people to the very things that is hindering them from being the best them, that's keeping them lost from identifying who they are, that's preventing them from tapping into the life I've spoken to them, that's preventing them from tapping into their greatness and their gifts and their powers that I've spoken to them. Their healing. Lead them to how to heal. Lead them to how to have a good mental health. Lead them to how to contain their emotions. Lead them to how to filter and decipher things that are toxic and beneficial in their spirit. You are a spiritual healer. That's what I called you to do. And the way I want you to do it is the very way that deep down inside, they'd be like, you know what? I can do it. Now, whether they put in the work is entirely up to them. But you are assigned, and your assignment and your life calling and your purpose are you dancing different. And this is why so many people are not understanding where you're coming from. So many people that's preaching from the pulpit. So many people that have these titles. They're embracing the title, but not embracing the spiritual work that comes with it. They're doing the fleshly work, but they ain't doing the spiritual work. They ain't getting down to that spiritual DNA and helping people identify what is infecting their spirit and what is that mutation of that spiritual DNA that should not be there. They're not doing that. This is what I am calling you to do. And the thing about it is, there ain't a manual to it. Everything I need to know, everything I need to study is through prayer, meditation, fasting, hearing what God has to give me, and being able to speak in a language that everybody understands. Right? Because for those who are Christian, they know that one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit is that you be able to speak in many languages. That don't mean that you be able to speak in Japanese, Mandarin, Chinese, Spanish, Russian, Arabic, English, with some other languages. That doesn't mean that. When it says that you'll be able to speak in many languages, that means that with the universal language, you'll be able to reach so many people at any given time, despite their beliefs, despite how they identify who God is, despite if they even believe in a God. You'll be able to speak in a language where everybody understands, right? Because we're so ready to say, okay, I am going to only speak to Christians. When in reality, that ain't the only community of people that you need to be talking to. Right? And we're not going to go on this whole religious kick. We're not going to go on this whole religious kick. But what I have understood and what God has taught me is that not only am I cut from a different cloth, I dance a different dance. Right? And it's so unique. And it's so different. Right? And it's so in depth. And I'm okay. I'm okay with my assignment. Because my assignment and my calling and my life purpose, I'm okay with all of that. I'm okay with it because it has never failed me. It's not failing me, and it will never fail me. And I'm here today to say, sometimes your spiritual calling, your life purpose on this earth requires you to be different. In the community of people that you're fellowshipping with, they may not understand it. They may look at you sideways. They may pass judgment. They may go to the next person and say, It is okay to be different in your life calling. Whatever your calling is, if your calling is to make music, it is okay to be different. Look at all of these people that's doing different genres of music, different artists in these different genres. And you got some that are so unique that before they even start singing, you know that's their song. You know, or if you singing a song, you know, like, okay, well, yeah, so-and-so sang that song, but I know that such and such wrote that song. It was one song, Donna Summer's last album. It came out in 2008. And one of the songs, I'm like, she ain't write that song. She ain't write that song. Now, I know the songs that she actually wrote, she ain't write that song. That song was written by somebody else. And it sound like somebody, they sound like old girl from the Atlanta Housewives. Sound like she would have wrote that song. And come to find out that she actually wrote that song after I did my research. But, you know, everybody has a different uniqueness about them, right? Everybody's purpose is different. Right? There are so many life coaches out here and they just do things differently. There's so many motivational speakers out here and they do things differently. There's so many therapists out here and they do things differently. There's so many people of, pastors and ministers, whatever, and they just do things differently. Their platform is different. And it's okay. Because what we have to understand is when people come at us sideways and with judgment about our life calling and our purpose on this earth, they're looking at it through eyes that have a filter that's hindering and compromising who they are And if we fall for it, it will hinder and compromise our calling and who we are. And that's something that we don't need to do. So continuing on this journey in life, baby, when you start tapping into them gifts, when you start tapping into them callings, when you start tapping into those assignments, we got to know that there are going to be people that's going to be in the bushes looking, waiting, number one, waiting for you to fall. Number two, they don't think that you're qualified to do and be where God wants you to do, what God wants you to do, and where He wants you to be. And I had a past guest on here, and after her and I got off doing her episode of the podcast, she says to me, she said, "Look, Matthew, God wanted me to tell you one thing. You got a seat at this table. That you got a seat at this table." Now, mind you, I don't know her like that. We know some of the same people, and we talk back and forth on Facebook, but I can't say that's my bestie because I've never met her in person, or I've known her for the past X amount of years. No, but she says that to me, and she says, "You have a seat at the table," and this is where I want people to know. There's a table that has a place for you. So you don't need to sit at everybody's table. You don't need to eat what everybody's eating, because sometimes people be eating some very toxic things, and in return, it shows by the fruit that they bear. Right? And if people don't get you, they don't get you. But if you are walking in your calling and you are praying and meditating, and you doing everything that you need to do, and God has not came and utilized the spiritual universe that's His mouth and ears, if He has not said that you're doing it wrong, why are we sitting up here getting mad when people say we're doing something wrong? Because if you are that spiritually connected with God, why are we worried about what people are saying? If they want to get mad, let them get mad. If they don't want to do certain projects and invite you somewhere, then okay. Then okay. If they don't see it for you, they don't see it for you. That is their decision. That's their business of how they feel about how you feel about how they feel about what they feel and how you going about. That's their business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You focus on you. You focus on that calling. You focus on that assignment. You focus on the direction how God wants you to do it. Whether it's making music, whether it's acting, whether it's dancing, whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's in life coaching, whether it's being a firefighter or a police officer. If that's your call, whatever your calling is, you do that and you focus on that, and you don't let anybody dictate what you're doing by way of their filter. Their filter is hindering them. It shouldn't hinder you. I hope y'all hear me. I hope y'all hear me. So as we wrap up, because I got a little bit off track. I did. But as we wrap up, I want y'all to understand that in this moment of doing your purpose, your life purpose, your calling, whatever it is that God wants you to do, however He wants you to do it, we got to understand that sometimes it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest. it's okay to kick back your feet for a little bit and just like breathe and relax yourself and prop your feet on the pillow, on the what you call it, the ottoman, and yeah, it's okay to do that. It's okay to rest. It's okay to rest. God don't want you doing, doing the work every single day nonstop without some sense of rest. Okay. It even says that he rested at some point. Like, it's okay to rest. And so for this past summer, that's what I've been doing. I've been resting. I've been refreshing myself. I've been rejuvenating myself. I've been, bringing it all back together and woosah and making sure that Matthew, the human, is okay, and making sure that everybody else is okay, but making sure that I'm still, Matthew, you still good? Yeah, I'm still good. Okay, we cool. It's okay to rest. Rest yourself. Kick back and relax. Have fun. Go on that much needed vacation, whether it's by yourself, whether it's with your, with the love of your life, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with your parents. Go on that vacation. Enjoy yourself. Relax. And that's exactly what I did. I'm like, look, I gotta relax. All right. I done did 3 seasons nonstop back to back. So I'm here to relax. Okay. I'm working on behind the scenes stuff. I had to take a break from all of that too, because it's like, and not because it was stressing, it was because had I would have continued, I would have gotten stressed out. So the love and the passion that I have doing this, I just would have lost it. It wouldn't have been interesting to me anymore. I just would have posted a couple of posts and said, hey, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, And so, but I'm back, and I'm loving that each and every one of you are continuing this journey. Okay. I am so proud of y'all. And I appreciate y'all. And I speak life, and I speak, I speak into existence that you'll get it if you ain't got it yet. That you'll understand if you ain't understanding yet. Right? And I see so many people healing. That touches my heart right there. And I'm gonna tell you now, for those who know me, I may be my exterior may be hard. It may be rock solid. But everybody know I'm a toasted marshmallow. All right. And, sometimes seeing the good things of people and the happy stuff that people, the good things that people are doing and them being happy. Sometimes, I'm not crying, you crying. Somebody cooking onions in my house, But I see y'all healing. I do. I see y'all healing. That warms my heart. It really does. I see y'all getting it. I see y'all understanding. I see y'all coming to the reality that some of y'all are broken and y'all need to get healed. Y'all need to fix yourselves. I'm seeing that. I am proud of you. And I speak strength, and I speak love, and I speak warmth, and I speak knowledge and wisdom and patience, right? And I speak that vision, that that the vision of you being at the finish line in whatever it is that you're working on. I speak it to existence. Why? Because I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to be great. Right? I want to see some business owners. I want to see some people making money. I want to see some people owning stuff. I'm speaking this into myself. I'm working hard. I want to see y'all work hard. And it's going to be times that we be like, you know what? The hell with this. Let me go ahead and try to do something else. No, keep going. Keep going. And I'm like seeing, you know, the post that people, people post their statuses or whatever online, of how they feeling and what they thinking and, what's going on in their life. I'm seeing the healing. I'm seeing the reality. I'm seeing all of that, and y'all starting to do the work, right? And for those who ain't there yet, they'll get it. They'll get it one way or another. They'll get it. But for those who are doing it, you know, this is what's bothering me. This is my trauma. This is what's hurting me. This is what I didn't heal from and I need to heal from. This is what I need to do to get to where I need to get to. This is the work I need to put in. Okay, I got to stop doing this and start doing this. I got to set time aside to make sure I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing more. There are some people at first, it's like, baby, if you do not smile. And now I'm seeing them smile. There's some people I'm like, look, if you put one more negative status on Facebook, and now I'm seeing them put all these positive statuses. People that are mending the relationship that they had with their parents. Having conversations with their family members about whatever went on. These are the things that are happening that I'm seeing on my face. And it's not like I got a certain community of people on my Facebook. I got different ethnicities, different sexual orientations, different genders, different beliefs, and and I'm seeing it. And every time I see it, oh my God, that warms my heart. I just love scrolling on Facebook, not just to laugh at the silly stuff that, me and my friends post, but to see y'all doing the work, y'all healing, y'all understanding, whether, God directed y'all eyes and y'all spiritual feet to the podcast, or whether, somebody else had something to do with it. But I appreciate and I love it. It warms my spirit to see other people happy. It does. And like I said, I'm like, hold on one second, y'all. With my tissue. It happens, but I love it. I love it. And before we wrap up, I appreciate the ones who have came into my inbox saying, Matthew, you are doing something remarkable. You are doing something remarkable. And this is what a few people have said, and I don't use remarkable. I can't remember the last time I used the word remarkable. I may have put it in a sentence or something to text somebody, but I don't use the word remarkable. But people are saying, Matthew, what you're doing is you rarely ever see it. You see the life coaching, you see the motivational speaking, but you don't see people actually getting down to the nitty gritty, to the spiritual DNA, and helping people heal and understand and what they're going through, and the trauma and the hurt and the pain. Yeah, we all want to see people be motivated to do greatness and be happy, but in order for them to really be successful at that, we got to understand where it all started. And this is what you're doing. You bringing them back to places that they don't want to be, but it's beneficial to their healing and where they need to go. And these are, this is what people are saying. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I have received some messages from people, and me just being me, that because of what I'm doing, they have really, they're still alive, and they have not thought about taking their lives. I've seen people that, they I've seen, but I've read messages, people going through whatever, and, a lot of stuff that they were going through, it really ain't had nothing to do with them, but, they read, saw certain episodes of the podcast and be like, dang, that makes sense now. So I appreciate y'all for giving me my flowers. I really do. I really do. And like I said, that lets me know that I'm doing everything that I need to do and what God wants me to do, number one. But number two, that y'all are actually listening and y'all are hearing me, because this the first season, I'm like, look, I doubt very seriously they're going to hear anything I got to say. I really thought that. I really thought that, but I'm going to do it anyway. But to know, almost 4 years later, well, not 4, but what is this? Almost 3 years later, because we started in January. So almost 3 years later, that I'm reaching people. I'm reaching people. People come to me. There are people who I graduated with in high school who are saying, Matthew, this is good. This is good. Keep up the good work. I've never seen the in-depth part of what you're doing, and you're doing a very good job at it. People out of nowhere, hey, what's the link to your podcast? I'm like, you just go to my profile and there's the link. It's in a link tree, But I appreciate it. I do. And there's more to come. There's more in-depth things we do. I'm still going to invite people to not only share their story, but to have conversations. I got a couple of people I got to reach out to. One messaged me a couple of days ago and said that he still hadn't gotten the invite. I'm like, I sent you the invite. But he was referring to a date and time. So I'm like, oh, okay. A lot been going on. Let's do it this week. So more guests. I'm going to invite back my brother, not my biological brother, but my brother, Mr. Charlie, because him and I have been keeping in touch. He was a past guest. He was a guest on the past season. And him and I have been keeping in touch. So I'm going to invite him back. I'm going to invite a couple of other people back, but I'm also going to welcome new people. Yeah, it's going to be a good ride this season. It's going to be a good ride this season. I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with y'all. Right. And it's only going to get better. Y'all don't understand. It's going to get better and better and better and better. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. But yeah, y'all just here and healing and doing the work. That just does it for me. That just helps me get up in the morning. Me motivating and giving you all this information, and then y'all get motivated. That motivates me in return to see that y'all getting motivated, and not because of my ego. It's because I just want everybody to be in a place of happiness and healing and being able to maneuver through these things in life. That's what warms me up. So, me and oh, okay. So I got 5,000 people that's watching and they like it and they stay at something. That don't mean a damn thing to me. That doesn't. If 5 people watching, they like it and they say something great, thank you. But that's not my number one priority. My number one priority is to make sure that I'm doing my life purpose and my calling by making sure that you're healing and you're being able to go through the healing process and this journey of life and identifying the trauma and keeping a positive mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, physical health. I want to get somebody who does fitness on here. Not just anybody, but I want to get somebody who does fitness on here. But I got questions myself. I'm going on my fitness journey too. So I got questions that need answers to help me understand. but yeah, it's going to be a great ride this season. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play back the snippet of the new theme song to Tapping Into Life. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank each and every one of you for coming in, continuing to be yourselves, dancing to your own dance, taking the time to make you better. And until next time, always, always, always continue to tap into life. Take care.
Feel the energy flow. Tapping into life, we're ready to shine. With every step forward, we're crossing the line. Embrace the hustle, let the fire ignite. Together we rise, we'll conquer the night.